Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is your Coach Renz, and today I want to just talk to you about the difference between being a survivor and being someone who conquers, and especially to those in the diaspora, as we like to call them, those who have suffered through oppressions. I really want to talk to you about that, and it can be in any category. But before I do, let me get a quick word from our sponsors. I'd like to take a moment to thank all our sponsors. For everyone on Patreon who supports this channel through your monthly donations, you are greatly appreciated. And I look forward to providing you free content as well as exclusive live video chats. You will also be able to receive discounts on products from Uncle Ren's Popcorn as well as coaching from Coach Ren's. This video is also sponsored by Uncle Ren's Popcorn, where you can get 25 flavors of delicious gourmet popcorn, from salt and vinegar to strawberry cheesecake, from caramel and cheddar to bacon jalapeno, and many others like cookies and cream. I greatly appreciate everyone who supports us at Uncle Ren's Popcorn. This channel is also supported by Coach Renz, where you can not only get all your life coaching, your relationship coaching, but also get your business coaching from Coach Renz, as we teach you how to move your hobbies into a business, not a job for yourself, but a business. We also teach you life principles of leadership and meditation. So go to CoachRenz.com and support the sponsors of this channel. All right, everybody, thank you. And please subscribe to the channel if you find us for the first time. We talk about everything under the sun, the 360 degrees of life. So today, I attended a health day centering around cancer at the Emmanuel Seventh-day Adventist Church here in the Lithonia area. And so in attending, many people got up and they gave their story, and they were and there's a big health fair. They're doing free screenings for different types of cancer. There's information. It really was a great community event that was going on. So I want to thank and applaud the people of Emmanuel for having such a great outreach. But in all the people who talked, there was one gentleman who got up, and he said something in the very first 1 minute that caught my attention. He said that we like to say that we're a cancer survivor of this or a survivor of that. And he says anytime that you are a survivor, then you are still beholding to whatever it is you've come through. So if you were surviving cancer, you're still beholding to cancer. You're still living a life that's centered around the cancer. That cancer still has that hold on you, and you're just surviving it instead of conquering it. You're like, if you're free of cancer, you have conquered cancer. You're not surviving cancer anymore. And that had my mind going into so many areas that we say we are survivors of, and how that mentality of surviving has put people in a situation where we don't catapult ourselves into the stage of conquerors. It keeps people who are oppressed, it keeps them in an oppressed mindset. Whether we're talking about something as horrendous as slavery, whether we're talking about something as horrendous as in the encampments in the Holocaust of Germany, whether we're talking about women's suffrage, whether we're talking about black communities that are suffering through economic crises, or we're talking about a country that was colonized and now has their freedom but still have a colonistic mentality. I don't know if that's a real word, but having a survivor's mentality when people have been kidnapped and they went through trauma and they're still holding on to the kidnapped survivor's mentality. When you're in a relationship and you're still holding on to this, I survived the abuse, the physical abuse, I survived the mental abuse, I survived the emotional abuse. Many of people in relationships are surviving the trauma of whatever broke up the previous relationships, whether they cheated on you, and you're surviving a mistrusting personality, but the fact that you're still not trusting anybody else. You still have an eye looking for the danger. Not that you should be completely naive to how someone is treating you, but you have to be wary of, are you putting yourself in a state where you're living as a survivor and not a conqueror? You see, let me give you an example. Many black people in America, regardless if you claim indigenous or African slaves, African ancestry, the Native Americans were kicked off their land, everything taken from them. They were murdered, mass murdered, and the African was stolen from West Africa. Some were bought, but mostly stolen from Africa, forced into slavery. And then even to this day, we maintain slave mentalities where we see light-skinned people are better than dark-skinned people. We see where people of a different race have a business that's the same as ours, but we're going to shop with them because we don't feel like our people can put out a great product. These types of mentalities still follow through with the house slave and the field slave. In the same way, when I looked at Rwanda, and I was there in 1994, when the Hutus and the Tutsis, they had a us against them mentality. And if it wasn't for what's going on in that country right now, but I'm sure the sentiment is still there with some of the people who are my age. If you are my age, if you're 48 and you're living in Rwanda, you remember the genocide. So you still may be holding on and saying, well, I survived the Hutu insurrection. And so you're still just in a survivor's mode where you don't see yourself growing greater. You don't see the mending of the hearts, the mending of the minds, because you're in survivor mode. And that's what we have to get past, is this survivor mode. Oftentimes in the black community, we talk about how we got to get rid of the slave mentality. But it's not just the slave mentality, it's the survivor's mentality. It's the mentality that says that our forefathers survived this atrocity. So because they survived it, I'm just trying to survive now. I got my job because I'm just trying to survive. I have this relationship and it's been horrible, but I'm just trying to survive. We have to get past surviving and truly be conquerors. And the way that we do that is we have to first change our perception of what we're currently doing. You are whatever you say that you are. If you've never seen the I am discourses, where it says that I am that I am, whatever you put in place of that, that's what you are. So if you are a survivor, then that's what you're doing, just surviving. But if you're a conqueror, then you are conquering. So if you say to yourself, you can say, I survive infidelity. Or have you conquered infidelity by the fact that you don't commit yourself to infidelities anymore? Or are you just surviving? The temptation is always there. You want to do it, but you don't do it, but you really want to. And you look at women or you look at men and you say, man, I fantasize about doing that. Then you're surviving it. But when you've conquered it, you can see whomever. She could be the bad, just fine. Or he could be just suave, everything. But you don't even give a second thought to wanting to be with that person in place of the love that you have in your life. When you say I'm surviving financially every day, it's because you haven't put in place budgets. You haven't put a plan that says that this is my financial freedom account, this is my investment account, and every time I make money into this account and it gives me a return on my investment, an ROI, I'm going to reinvest it into something else that's going to make me money. I have the mentality of conquering because I'm also not afraid. I'm not living in fear, and that's the other big thing that keeps you in survivor mode, is because you're always afraid that you're going to go back to that situation. You're going to fall backwards into a place where, oh, you know what, I survived bankruptcy, but now I'm just trying to keep things as even as possible and trying to have a little bit of life, but I'm saving every penny, I'm counting every penny, I'm making sure I'm not having any fun. I'm not able to go into do any investments because I survived bankruptcy and I don't want to go back. Instead of saying I'm going to conquer bankruptcy by ensuring that I'm on Coach Ren's 70-10-10-10 plan, and that I'm investing my money, and then that investment keeps rolling over until it replaces my income. I'm going to invest in things that give me more immediate returns on my money, not stocks, not something that's when I turn 70 years old, but I'm 30 right now, I'm 40 right now, and I'm investing in something that's going to give me a return on my investment in the next 2-3 years. No, I'm conquering now. I'm conquering, I'm not surviving. And too often we're just surviving. Financially, we're surviving, and we're just trying to have a car, we're trying to have the house, but we don't even have the house, we're renting. But we're all in survival mode. I'm just trying to have a relationship that's decent. Just somebody who just to be nice to me. They won't cheat on me. They won't steal my money. They won't use me. They won't abuse me. Instead of saying that, no, I want my divine soulmate. I want that person that we grow together to a point where you can't tell one from the other. That person that not only do they finish my sentence, but before I even start to have a thought, they already have provided whatever it is, and I didn't even know I was going to have the thought, and it's already there. that kind of relationship where the love is so flowing that it is just infectious around everyone that we come around, and they just can't help but feel the vibratory energy of love that we have for one another. I'm not surviving to have something to settle for, but I'm conquering to have something that is glorious, that makes others become full of awe of who we are together, that we are the demonstration of what love is in a romantic relationship. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to just survive my past relationships. I'm conquering into my current relationship that is filled with that level and intensity of love. That's what we're looking for, but we're looking for it in every aspect of life. In your health, your relationship, in your business, your mentality towards society, in every aspect of who you are. I'm not just surviving, but I'm conquering. And that's what I want for you guys. I want you to start conquering in life. I want you to start living a life that says that I am above and beyond anything my ancestors, my parents, that I have personally survived, made my way through, overcome. And now that I realize the God is inside me, I am greater than anything that could ever try to stop me, because I am that I am. So remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness, it's non-negotiable.